She's making sure that when Sheryl Swoopes basically said there are locker room issues and some serious players want to go.
You gotta understand the outside world was really trying to get inside this building. We just didn't let it.
Kelsey Mitchell. And to assume the role to be additive to Caitlin's game is so, that's a veteran move to me.
You know what's crazier than Caitlin Clark's game? The drama off the court. Sheryl Swoopes is stirring the pot, but Erica Wheeler's serving up some cold, hard facts. Let's dive into this WNBA soap opera and see what's really going on. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Now back to the video. Ever wonder what it's really like inside the Fever's locker room? Erica Wheeler just dropped a truth bomb that's about to flip this whole story on its head. Is the Fever drama all smoke and no fire? Well, get ready for a plot twist because Wheeler's not staying quiet about what's really going down in Indiana. She's stepping up to the mic and she's got something to say about those claims from Sheryl Swoopes. Remember how Swoopes was painting this picture of Fever players trying to distance themselves from Caitlin Clark? Wheeler's coming in hot with a different take. She's shutting down those rumors faster than a lightning quick fast break. Here's the deal. Wheeler straight up said, "We just didn't let it." Boom. That's how you squash drama before it even starts. It's like she's telling the whole world, nah, we're not playing that game.
All we do is have fun. With Caitlin Clark, who never takes anything serious, like I tell people all the time, she's really a kid at heart. You gotta understand the outside world was really trying to get inside this building. We just didn't let it.
Wheeler's making it clear that the Fever aren't about to let outside noise mess with their team chemistry. But wait, it gets even better. Wheeler's not just denying the drama, she's spilling the tea on what's really happening in that locker room. And let me tell you, it's nothing like what Swoopes was suggesting. Check this out. Wheeler says all we do is have fun with Caitlin Clark. She's really a kid at heart. Can you picture it? Instead of tension and jealousy, we've got a bunch of pro ballers just vibing and having a good time with their rookie sensation. It's like Wheeler's pulled back the curtain, and instead of seeing a divided team, we're getting a peek at what sounds like the coolest hangout spot in the WNBA. Imagine Clark, fresh out of college, bringing that youthful energy to a group of seasoned pros. It's not about players wanting to get away from her. It's about them embracing her presence and enjoying the ride. This is huge, folks. We're talking about a complete 180 from what Swoopes was claiming.
There's a lot of other shit going on that players are like, this ain't where I want to be. Players that are very significant on this Indiana Fever team that are like, I don't want to be here. This is where I want to be.
Yeah. What kind of things do you
I'm not in the locker room.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay. But just,
I'm talking about more social media.
Okay. Instead of drama, we've got camaraderie. Instead of jealousy, we've got fun. It's like Wheeler just flipped the script on this whole narrative. Think about it. How many times have we heard stories about veteran players being threatened by hotshot rookies? It's a tale as old as sports itself, but Wheeler's painting a totally different picture here. She's showing us a Fever team that's welcoming Clark with open arms, not pushing her away. And let's be real, this isn't just about Clark. Wheeler's words give us a glimpse into the entire team culture in Indiana. It sounds like they've got something special brewing there.
She's making sure that when Sheryl Swoopes basically said there are locker room issues and some serious players want to go, a veteran thing to say is like, the others are trying to get inside the building, we just didn't let them in.
A group that can laugh together, have fun together, and shut down outside noise together. That's the kind of team chemistry that wins championships. But here's the thing, Wheeler's not just talking about fun and games. By stepping up and addressing these rumors head on, she's showing some serious leadership. She's protecting her teammate, she's standing up for her squad, and she's sending a message to the whole league. Don't mess with the Fever's vibe. Team chemistry is one thing, but how do you handle a media firestorm?
All we do is have fun. She's just a kid. The outside, the others are trying to get in. We're not going to let them. The reason why their team chemistry seems to be so good, even though everything is going disastrously bad around them.
The Fever's about to show us what real teamwork looks like when the pressure's on. You know, it's not just about what happens on the court. These days, players have to deal with a whole other game off the court, the social media game. And let me tell you, it can be brutal. Just ask Aaliyah Boston. Remember when Boston was getting hit with all that criticism early in the season? It got so bad that she actually had to delete her social media accounts. That's crazy, right? Imagine being a pro athlete and feeling like you have to cut yourself off from the world because of all the negativity. But here's where it gets really interesting. The Fever didn't just let Boston deal with it alone. Nah, they rallied around her. We're talking about a team that doesn't just talk about unity, they live it. When one of their own was getting beaten down by the online trolls, they stepped up. And you know what? That's the kind of thing that builds a team. It's not just about passing the ball on the court. It's about having each other's backs when things get tough off the court too.
Cut off the ball or anything like that, and just that chemistry that you get used to playing with one another. It's taken time, but I think we're really starting to get it down.
Kelsey Mitchell. And to assume the role to be additive to Caitlin's game is so, that's a veteran move to me.
Now, let's talk about Kelsey Mitchell for a second. You might think that with all the attention on Caitlin Clark, other players might be feeling left out, right? But that's not what's happening at all. Mitchell's actually saying that playing alongside Clark has made her better. Her performance is up, and she's getting more recognition. That's huge. It's like Clark isn't just elevating her own game, she's lifting up the whole team. And that's the kind of rookie you want, someone who makes everyone around them better. But here's the thing, it's not just about individual players. What Wheeler's telling us is that the whole team is in on this. They're not letting outside noise mess with their vibe. Instead of getting jealous or competitive, they're embracing the energy that Clark brings. Think about it, you've got this young star coming in, full of excitement and potential, and instead of feeling threatened, the veterans are feeding off that energy. They're having fun with it. That's the kind of atmosphere that can turn a good team into a great one. And let's be real, it takes serious leadership to make that happen. Wheeler stepping up and shutting down those rumors. That's a captain move right there. She's not just protecting Clark, she's protecting the whole team's chemistry. You know what's really wild about all this? It's like the Fever have found a way to turn what could have been a negative into a positive. All that outside pressure, all those expectations on Clark, they're using it to bring them closer together. It's like they've created this bubble around themselves, not to shut the world out, but to keep their focus on what really matters. Inside that bubble, they're not worried about who's getting more attention or who's the star. They're just a bunch of ballers having fun and pushing each other to be better. You know how they say pressure makes diamonds? Well, the Fever might just be the shiniest team in the WNBA right now. All that hype around Caitlin Clark, it's not tearing them apart, it's bringing them together in ways nobody saw coming. Let's talk about the real impact Caitlin Clark is having on the Fever. Forget what Swoopes said for a second.
So people say, dang, like he or she's killing them, but you have a 25-year-old playing against a 20-year-old. Well, Caitlin should have broke that record in 4 years. But because there's a COVID year and then there's another year, you know what I mean? Because you've been doing it a lot longer than they have. Clark right now probably takes about 40 shots a game.
Wheeler's inside scoop paints a totally different picture. Instead of players trying to get away from Clark, they're actually thriving with her around. Think about it, you've got this rookie sensation coming in, all eyes on her, expectations through the roof. That kind of pressure could easily mess with a team's vibe, but not the Fever. Nah, they're using it as rocket fuel. Here's the crazy part, Clark's presence isn't just making her look good, it's like she's got this magic touch that's elevating everyone's game. Remember Kelsey Mitchell? She's not sitting in the corner feeling left out, she's stepping up playing better than ever. It's like Clark's star power is contagious. But it's not just about what's happening on the court, the real magic is happening behind the scenes. Wheeler spilled the tea, remember? All we do is have fun with Caitlin Clark. She's really a kid at heart. That's not what a divided locker room sounds like. That's the sound of a team bonding, laughing, enjoying the ride together. Now, let's talk about criticism for a second. We all know how brutal it can get, especially on social media. Remember how Aaliyah Boston had to delete her accounts early in the season? That's the kind of thing that could tear a team apart. But the Fever, they turned it into a rallying point. Instead of letting the pressure crush them, they're using it to forge stronger bonds. You know what's wild? All this noise, all this attention on Clark, it could have been a recipe for disaster, jealousy, resentment, all that drama. But the Fever flipped the script. They're not letting the outside world dictate their story. They're writing their own, and it's a story of unity, fun, and rising to the challenge together. So why did Swoopes get it so wrong? Maybe she's looking at it through an old school lens. You know, the idea that a hotshot rookie has to pay her dues or whatever. But that's not how the Fever are rolling. They're embracing Clark's energy, her talent, her whole vibe, and it's making them better as a team. Here's the thing, what Wheeler's telling us isn't just feel-good fluff. It's a glimpse into a team culture that's built to last. A team that can laugh together, push each other, and stand up for each other when the outside world gets crazy. That's the kind of foundation championships are built on. And let's be real, this isn't just about basketball, it's about life. How many times have we seen a group crack under pressure? But the Fever, they're showing us how it's done, taking all that hype, all that expectation, and turning it into positive energy. That's next level stuff.